Now, it's time for our weekly mental health and well-being focus, Mind Matters with Dr. Shan. And today we're talking about what it's like to come out as transgender. Well, today the Conservative MP Jamie Wallis revealed he wishes to be transgender. Jamie's the first MP to come out as trans and has been widely praised for his bravery. Earlier, I spoke to Cleo Madeleine from the charity Gendered Intelligence, and she told me his decision should be celebrated and respected.
It's a historic moment, and we really do want to mark that. We hope that this will send a signal to other trans and non-binary people in Westminster and beyond, and their allies, that you can be a politician and be trans, that you can be a parliamentarian and be trans, and that we've really turned a corner here.
I mean, it's so ghastly, isn't it, Cleo, that he's had to go through so much to get here. And he said since 2019 he was threatened that he would be outed to his family members because of his gender identity. People blackmail him, effectively saying, I'll expose you for what you are. I mean, how common an experience is that, do you think, that fear and that threat of exposure?
This is a really exceptional case, and like a serious crime has been committed, and we can't really comment on that. But certainly LGBT plus people in general, and trans and non-binary people in particular, are subjected to violence, to suppression, to manipulation. Transgender people are disproportionately represented among victims of domestic violence. And one way that can happen is people, abusers, using people's identities against them. It's a position that too many of us have been in, and it's something that's not going to stop until we can start breaking the stigma around being trans.
How did you manage it?
I mean, so I'm lucky because, like most transgender people, my life is actually very boring. Even I faced discrimination when I first came out. For me, it came in a healthcare setting. I was faced with healthcare professionals who would say, maybe you're just making this up. Maybe you're just unwell. And of course, we want trans people to be able to explore their gender in a safe environment. But the fact of the matter is that there is a lot of discrimination, there's a lot of abuse around these identities, and you end up with people going through really terrible things. What we want, all we want really, is for transgender people to be supported, to get access to the spaces they need to have conversations around gender identity, access to healthcare if that's the path they want to go down. And, not everyone does. And to be able to do that without fear of judgment or manipulation or abuse.
The debate has got so toxic, and I wonder why. Where has that come from?
So there's lots of reasons for this, really. The Women's Inequalities Select Committee, in their December 2021 report, talked about how it's a lack of action from the government that has allowed this divide to prosper. I'm not making a partisan statement here, but just in terms of the polarization of debate and how toxic it's become, that's come from the fact that we do have a governing establishment that has abandoned the LGBT Action Plan. There's been no action on Gender Recognition Act reform. It's been like pulling teeth trying to get conversion therapy legislation on the cards. And we are blow by blow falling behind other countries around the world on the essential topic of LGBT plus rights. And when that's coming from the highest levels of government, it's really easy to see how it could then encourage a culture of division and a culture of hatred.
Yeah, and what would you like to see that will change that will change that polarisation, that will take the toxicity out of the debate?
We want everybody to feel safe talking about gender, even if they don't really feel like they know what they're talking about, because that's the only way that you learn. The problem is that at the moment, those spaces aren't there. We've had in the past 24 hours the UK's first openly trans MP and Boris Johnson cracking a joke at trans people's expense. And, you know, we need the people who are supposed to be leading us to be with us, or to at least to give us the respect and dignity that they give to anybody else, so that we can start having these conversations. You know, we want more than anything for this division to end and for this toxicity to end. But it has to start from the top.
Cleo, thanks very much.
Thank you so much.